Let's talk about incense paper. You can buy commercially some incense paper. This is from someone in France that I got on Amazon, I think. And they smell pretty good and they look really pretty nice. So you can buy these, but I always like to figure out how to make things and try it. So this is some homemade incense paper I've made. It's not nearly so pretty as what I bought, but you can just tear off one of these tabs and fold it and light it, or you can heat it rather than burning it, which actually is what I prefer. So you need some paper, strips of paper. I would make sure I buy some kind of natural kind of paper. I wouldn't use like printer paper, but there's a paper store near me called Hiromi Paper. They do sell various papers from all over the world that are mostly relatively naturally made. So, you can buy fancy paper that's used for calligraphy might be good. If you want it to burn, you need this stuff called saltpeter, which is potassium nitrate. It's one of the components of gunpowder. But anyway, so you would mix 1.5 teaspoons full in 1/2 cup of hot water and stir it until it dissolves. And then you would take the paper and soak it in that water and then hang it up to dry. Okay, so that's what this paper is paper that's been treated with saltpeter. So to make a video I should do it again just to show you, but it's not that hard. And I already have a bunch of paper like this, and I've even decided I don't like burning it. I'd much rather heat it in my incense warmers that I have, the various types, and I found it still does release quite a marvelous aroma. So the first thing that you need then, after you've got your paper prepared, is something to scent it. So I'm going to just simply use some rǔxiāng. Rǔxiāng comes like this often, and it should dissolve in alcohol. Rǔxiāng really smells good. Moyao, not so much. Don't confuse, frankincense and myrrh. The frankincense is great, the myrrh, less good. I have Ruching powder, which should dissolve better in alcohol. So let's just try and see what happens. So I have a little glass, and I've got some 62% alcohol by volume gaoliang-zhou, which is, a distilled liquor. Let's see if we can get the cap off. There. And I'm just going to pour a random amount in. Okay. Whew, strong. Okay, we'll leave that here. And then I'm going to just spoon in some Ruching powder. I could use other things. I'm just doing something simple right now because it's easy. Okay, so I'm gonna just put a spoonful of this powder in. And hopefully it will pretty much dissolve. I'm gonna agitate it every day for a couple of days. And we'll see how much solids are left in the bottom, or if it really will dissolve. So after this is done, then we'll start scenting the paper. I cut a few strips of this paper. Let's see, it says it's Okawara handmade kozo, okay? And I got it from Ruching Paper. The rǔxiāng powder has been sitting in the alcohol for more than 10 days. It kind of sticks shut, yeah, there. And I was shaking it every day, multiple times, but today I let it settle out because we really want the clear liquid and not the powder. If a little bit gets in, it's okay. I don't really need to strain it. I can just, stop pouring when it gets like the powder's coming. So then you just soak the paper in the alcohol. Let's see, I thought I had some tweezers here. Well, I can use my fingers. And then I'm gonna put it on something so it can dry, and so it can drip not onto my table. I've got a plastic sheet underneath. Okay. And then this should dry fairly quickly because it's a relatively high percent alcohol. I think it was 62% alcohol. And so we can try this maybe later today, maybe tomorrow. The rest of the liquid I can pour back in, and I can do more later. It can sit indefinitely. It doesn't have to, it doesn't go bad. So that's the procedure. The paper has dried, and so now we're ready to try this. So I can take these and put them in maybe a Ziploc that I've labeled so that what fragrance they have won't dissipate. I'm warming up my electric incense heater, and I'm going to take this and cut off a little square. Well, kind of a square. And put this in the heater, trying to make it have good contact with the metal tray so that it will warm and release its fragrance. So the aroma will be subtle. It's rǔxiāng, it's frankincense, which has just really a lovely odor when it's warmed. But it's subtle, so I would put this by my desk and be working, and every once in a while when I pause and open up my attention, I'll notice the lovely scent. So that's it. Let's try burning this one. I'm going to take it and you just fold it like an accordion. Okay, there we have it. Put it on a tile or some kind of fireproof something. This paper doesn't burn without the saltpeter. It goes out on its own. So if you want to actually burn the paper, you have to pre-treat it. If you don't want that, like I'm going to use the electric heater, then you just need to soak the paper in the alcohol and rǔxiāng or whatever. Resins are supposed to work better because they have a deeper, richer scent, and plant herbs may not end up scenting the paper quite as much. But you could try it with herbs. I've tried it with herbs. It's okay. It's more subtle than other methods when you heat it, so you don't expect a big, bang of aroma, but it is definitely a method you could play with, and probably eventually I'll be able to improve it and make the scent stronger. I'll figure out some way of doing that. Anyway, that's paper incense.